Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into the kitchen to talk about something we all do but often get wrong: cracking eggs. It's a fundamental skill, yet many turn it into a shell-ridden, yolky mess. If you can't crack an egg properly, what hope do you have for the rest of the dish? It's about precision and understanding the basics. Today I'm here on behalf of Z to walk you through the common pitfalls that can ruin your dishes before you've even begun. We're going to break down these mistakes so you can finally banish those pesky shell fragments and broken yolks from your culinary life. Pay attention, because these details matter. Let's get started, and by the end of this, you'll be cracking eggs like a pro. Right, let's get on with it. Let's tackle the first cardinal sin: cracking eggs on the sharp edge of a bowl. Why would you choose a method almost guaranteed to shove tiny pieces of shell into your egg? It's like inviting a burglar in and then wondering why your telly's gone. The sharp edge of a bowl acts like a wedge, causing the shell to implode, sending shards inwards. It's not a clean break, it's a messy, uncontrolled fracture. And then you're there, poking around with your finger or a spoon, trying to retrieve those little bits, contaminating the egg and wasting precious time. It's inefficient, unhygienic, and just plain daft. Sometimes you get lucky, a clean break. Other times, it's a shell-pocalypse in your mixing bowl. Why leave it to chance when there's a far superior, far more reliable method? Cooking is about control, precision. Whacking an egg on a bowl rim is the culinary equivalent of playing Russian roulette with your breakfast. Eggshells can carry bacteria, and while cooking usually sorts that out, why introduce an unnecessary risk? Plus, biting down on a piece of shell, it's enough to put anyone off their meal. The problem with the bowl edge is that it creates an impact point that forces the shell to break inward. Instead of this haphazard method, use a flat, solid surface. Convenience doesn't always equate to quality. Often it's the shortcut that leads to a culinary dead end. Step away from the bowl edge. Think about the integrity of your ingredients. By cracking it on a bowl edge, you're compromising that from the get-go. It's a small thing, cracking an egg, but it's indicative of a larger approach to cooking. So the next time you're about to tap that egg on the side of your mixing bowl, stop. Think, is this the best way? The answer invariably will be a resounding no. It's time to break this bad habit once and for all. Your scrambled eggs, your cakes, your custards, they will all thank you for it. This isn't just about avoiding shell. It's about achieving a cleaner break, which gives you more control when separating the egg halves. When the shell is shattered irregularly, it's harder to get a neat opening. To recap, cracking on a bowl edge pushes shell in, creates an uncontrolled break, risks contamination, and is just generally a sloppy technique. There's a better way, a cleaner way, a more professional way. And that starts with abandoning the bowl edge method. Understood? Good. Next up is a mistake that makes me want to tear my hair out: using far too much force when you crack an egg. A gentle tap, that's all it needs. It's an egg, not a coconut. When you whack an egg with excessive force, several things go wrong. Firstly, you're more likely to shatter the shell into a million tiny pieces. Secondly, you risk rupturing the yolk. A beautiful, intact yolk is a thing of joy, whether you're frying it, poaching it, or separating it for a delicate sauce. Think of the eggshell as a delicate structure. It doesn't require a hammer blow. A sharp, decisive, but gentle tap on a flat surface is the key. The aim is to create a single, clean crack, a fault line that you can then easily pry open with your thumbs. Using too much force often means the crack isn't clean. It spiders out, or worse, you completely crush one side of the egg. This makes it incredibly difficult to open cleanly. You end up with a mangled mess, egg white dribbling down your fingers, yolk potentially broken and leaking everywhere. It's not just messy, it's wasteful. The amount of force needed is surprisingly little. It's more about the angle and the sharpness of the tap rather than brute strength. If you're consistently finding that your eggs are exploding or the yolks are breaking upon cracking, then you, my friend, are using too much force. It's time to recalibrate your egg cracking power levels. Think surgeon, not demolition expert. Precision over power. Consider the sound. A good egg crack is a crisp, sharp tick or talk. It's not a dull thud or a shattering crunch. Listen to what you're doing. The sound can tell you a lot about whether you're applying the right amount of pressure. If it sounds violent, it probably is. Aim for that satisfying, clean snap. It's a small detail, but it makes a difference to your control over the process. Practice a few times, focusing on reducing the force until you find that sweet spot. Enough to crack, but not enough to cause chaos. Your yolks will thank you, Your countertops will thank you, and frankly, I'll thank you for not butchering a perfectly good egg. It's about respect, remember? Treat your ingredients with a bit of care. Let's talk about something obvious, yet often neglected: checking for shell fragments after cracking an egg. You've cracked it, hopefully using a good technique, but your job isn't done yet. Those sneaky bits of shell can still get in, so for goodness sake, look. It's shocking how often people dump eggs without checking. What if there's a piece of shell? Hope is not a strategy in the kitchen. A tiny shell can ruin a delicate mousse, a smooth sauce, or a fried egg. It's an unwelcome crunch, a gritty surprise. These fragments can be hard to see, especially the smaller ones. They can blend in with the egg white. This is why a quick glance isn't enough. You need to look properly. Tilt the bowl, let the light catch it. Cracking into a small bowl first makes inspection easier. You can see clearly against the bowl. If you find a shell, don't poke with your fingers. Use another piece of shell to remove it. The shell edge acts like a magnet. Dip the shell edge near the fragment. It's surprisingly effective. It's clean, efficient, and it works. A wet fingertip can work, but shell on shell is better. Checking for shells should be automatic. Crack, inspect, remove if necessary. It takes seconds, but makes a big difference. It's about diligence and quality. It separates a good cook from a sloppy one. Think about the impression it gives. Serving food with eggshells shows you're not paying attention. If you're careless with eggshells, what else are you cutting? It erodes trust in your cooking. It's a small thing with a big impact. Don't let yourself down. Get it? Good. Cracking eggs directly into a hot pan or mixing bowl is risky. It's lazy and shows a disregard for quality. Stop it. Just stop it now. Think about it. You crack an egg directly into sizzling butter. Suddenly, you spot a bit of shell. Fishing it out of a hot pan is a mess. Now your perfect breakfast is ruined. Crack eggs into a separate bowl first for quality control. This helps avoid shells and bad eggs. Inspect each egg individually. Discard bad eggs without ruining your dish. Work smart, not harder. Always crack eggs into a separate bowl first. Got it? Good. Right, we've touched on this, but it's so important it deserves its own spotlight, not using a flat surface to crack your eggs. This is a fundamental, people. If you're still whacking your eggs on the rim of a bowl, or worse, the sharp corner of your countertop, you are actively sabotaging your own efforts to get a clean, shell-free crack. It's time to embrace the flat surface. It will change your egg-cracking life, I promise you. Why a flat surface, like a clean countertop or a sturdy chopping board? It's all about the physics of the break. When you tap an egg on a flat surface, the force is distributed more evenly across the point of impact. This encourages the shell to crack cleanly along a line, rather than shattering inwards like it does on a sharp edge. You're aiming for a controlled fracture, not an explosion. The flat surface is your ally in achieving this. Think of it like this. A sharp edge, like that of a bowl, concentrates all the force on a tiny area, punching through the shell and pushing fragments inward. A flat surface, however, allows the shell to flex ever so slightly around the point of impact before it gives way. This results in a crack that tends to stay on the outer surface, making it far less likely for those pesky little shards to end up in your egg. It's a cleaner, more predictable break. Many people avoid using a flat surface because they're worried about making a mess on their counter. Honestly, a quick wipe is all it takes. Is that tiny bit of potential cleanup worth risking shell in every single egg you crack? Of course not. And if you're cracking correctly with a gentle but firm tap, you shouldn't be making much of a mess anyway. The egg white shouldn't go flying if you haven't obliterated the shell. The beauty of the flat surface crack is that it typically creates a nice concave dent with a crack running through it. This makes it incredibly easy to then insert your thumbs into the crack and gently pull the two halves of the shell apart. Because the shell hasn't been pushed inwards, the membrane inside often remains intact, holding back any tiny potential fragments. It's a far more elegant and effective method. Compare this to the jagged, uneven break you often get from a bowl edge. Trying to open that cleanly is a nightmare. With a flat surface crack, the edges are usually much smoother and more regular, giving you greater control as you open the egg and pour out its contents. This is particularly helpful if you're trying to keep the yolk perfectly intact or if you're separating whites from yolks. So if you're not doing it already, make this the one change you implement today. Got it? Good. And there you have it, folks. Avoid these common mistakes and you'll be cracking eggs like a pro in no time. We've gone through the horrors of the bowl edge, the calamity of the Hulk smash, the blindness of not checking for shells, the sheer risk of cracking straight into the pan, and the fundamental importance of using a flat surface. Honestly, it's not complicated, is it? It's about paying a bit of attention and having some respect for the ingredients and the process. These aren't just tips, they're the foundations of good, clean cooking. I truly hope that by highlighting these blunders and showing you the right way, you'll feel more confident and competent next time you reach for an egg. Now get in that kitchen and crack some eggs the right way. See you next time.